Hi there, this is Amy Smith with Remax One, and today we're talking about is investing right for you and how to get started. Investing can be a great way to diversify your portfolio to offset inflation, and it's an awesome extra stream of income. There are some drawbacks, of course. A higher down payment is needed for a mortgage, 20 to 30%. The equity or money in the house is not super liquid. It's going to take you a little bit to sell. And there can be some tenant issues if you happen to pick a wrong tenant. When I meet with landlords, one of the very first questions I ask them is, do you want cash flow or do you want equity? Sometimes we can find both. Sometimes we get one or the other. Here's an example of a rental property that was purchased back in 2010. There were lots of foreclosures on the market, and this happened to be one. It was purchased for $135,000. The buyer put down 30%. Their mortgage was $872 a month. Now that takes into account mortgage, taxes, and insurance. The owner was able to rent out that property the first year for $13.25 per month, and they did that in just 19 days. So that meant the landlord cleared $453 a month for 4 years because that tenant stayed for 4 years. Now, when that first tenant moved out after 4 years, the landlord did upgrade the flooring a little bit, and that property went back on the market. It rented for $16.50 a month, and that tenant stayed for 2 years. At that point, that property was making $778 a month. This summer, the same floor plan sold for just a little bit over $250,000 in 10 days. So there you have an equity of $115,000 in just 9 years, plus $400 or $500 every month for the first 4 or 5 years, and then it jumped to $780 a month. So keep in mind, while that is a real world example of what investing can do for you, you may not get that kind of return today with just 30% down. You may have to put more like 40 or 50% down. But even with 30% down, we can find you something with $300 or $400 a month of return. When looking for highly performing rental properties, you've got to look at the price, of course, but you also have to look at things like floor plans, location, schools, what is going to draw tenants to that property and make them put applications in on your house. You want to have the choice of tenants. You also need to be smart about your updates. When you do them, and what do you update? What is going to bring you a good return on your investment? Once we've identified some properties, we can go look at them. If you're out of town, I'll be happy to video the property for you and see which ones make sense to write an offer on. Well, thanks for taking the time to listen to me today. My next video is going to be about how you can pick a property to increase the chance of applications and decrease your turnover and vacancy. Ideally, you have multiple applicants to pick from, and ideally, they stay for a couple of years. All right, have a great day. Amy Smith with Remax One here.